Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch The Legend of Korra Season 1, Episode 7. I just watched Episode 6. If you want to see my reaction video about that, I'm gonna put the link into the eye. That's it. I'm moving with 2 hands now. I still have a splint, but only for 2 weeks now, and I don't have my stitches since 4 days. So that's it. I'm beginning to move, you know, I have to move. I'm talking with my hands. I need to talk with my hands. The Legend of Korra, I just watched the last episode. I'm still thinking about it a lot, you know, about my series, about the show, about my series, about Amon. I said it, for me, Amon, I have only feelings about the guy. For what he's doing, you know, that war that he wants to create between benders and non-benders, for facts that I saw into the show, I really think that he's taking advantage of something which is real. I really think that there is an issue, a political or society issue between benders and non-benders, with benders taking advantage of their bendings, you know, with the triad, but also with other things. I agree a little about the pro-bending, the fact that it's a game only for benders and that non-benders can be like, you know, we want to have something also for us, and that they can feel like they're not respected enough in a way. And with the triads who are benders, to win against Amon, you're gonna have to win by fighting him, but also to win by taking political decisions and by convincing people that you want to do better and stuff like that. I really think so. So see, that it's based on facts. But all of what I think about Amon, the character, you know, what he wants and all, it's only based with feelings, you know, that I have about him and what he wants. I think that he's taking advantage of the situation to create that war because he wants a war, not because of the fact that he truly believes into all of that. I don't know why I'm feeling that he has a plan in mind, and creating a war between benders and non-benders, it's one of the steps, you know. It's not the conclusion of it, you know, winning that war. It's one of the steps. That's why also maybe he wants to keep Korra for the end. He said stuff like that, like, I'm not gonna fight you right now, it's gonna make you a martyr, you know, for the benders. Something about that can be true, but I think that it's not his real purpose. I really think that it's keeping her for the end, because for the steps that he has to follow, fighting Korra at the end, it's logical, you know, it's one of the steps. So, I don't know, maybe it's because of the fact that he doesn't want to steal her bending right now. He wants to steal it at the end when she's gonna be fully accomplished as an avatar. Maybe he knows how to steal her bending, not only to erase it. It's feelings, you know, I'm seeing it, it's feelings. One theory that I have, which is also based on facts, is the fact that maybe it's related to that Yakone that they talked about at some point. All of what they said about it is the fact that at some point Aang had to fight that guy, that's all. But we had flashbacks with Korra, and I think that it's related to that situation, and to that guy, to Amon. Maybe Amon is Yakone, or maybe Amon is related to Yakone, is one of his kids, or something related to him. And I have also this feeling, which is not based on fact, but on feeling, that maybe in fact Amon is a bender. Not because of the fact that he can fight so well, not at all. I think that non-benders can fight so well. We saw that during Avatar The Last Airbender. But again, I have this feeling that maybe Amon is in fact a bender. Maybe because of the fact that he can take bendings away like that. For me, you have to be a bender to be able to do that. Maybe it's because of that. Again, I want to know how he learned that. He said that the spirits talked to him and gave him information about what has to be done and all. I'm not buying that, and I'm not buying that it's the spirits, you know, one lion turtle, who taught you that also. So it has to be from someone else that you learned that. I don't know. It's complicated. We don't have a lot of information about him, about Amon, really, his past, his intentions. And because of the fact that I don't trust his intentions, you know, what he's saying fully, I think that there is something else behind that. I can only make theories, but without being sure of it. Like all of the theories that I just told you, I'm really 50-50. There is none that I believe into more than the other ones. And I'm totally open to being wrong about that. I'm almost like, maybe and surely I'm wrong about my theories. I know it's only the beginning of the season 1, like it's only the episode 7 of the season 1, so it's normal that I have a lot of theories and that maybe all of them are wrong. I know that, but I want to know more. Oh, also, I talked about it during the last episode and it's working a lot on my mind, you know. They are all equipped like that, you know, all of the arms that they have, all of this stuff, this electric stuff and all. You have to have money to have all of that, to buy all of that, or to have access to that technology really easily. You understand what I mean? To buy all of these things, all of these electric things and all of this technology. I think that there is something right there, maybe a clue to discover who is Amon and how to stop him also. If you are stopping, you know, the access that he has to this technology, if he can't buy anything else anymore, that's gonna be a weakness, you know, for all of his army, because all of his army, it's non-benders. If they don't have that, it's gonna be difficult for them. Really a lot of theories, and I think that most of them are wrong, and I'm totally okay with that. I'm gonna watch this episode 7, that's gonna be the last one that I'm gonna watch today. This afternoon I want to watch 2 episodes of Firefly. You know, I'm progressing at the same rhythm with these 2 shows. Even if for The Legend of Korra I have 4 seasons to watch, I'm still progressing at the same rhythm. To finish Firefly, you know, at the end of the summer, to really have it as the summer show, something like that. If you want, I have a Patreon on which you can have the episodes earlier, 2 weeks sooner. For The Legend of Korra it's a lot, and with an extended reaction part or a full reaction part. If you can be interested by that, or if you can be interested to support me, if you were there during all of the binge watching of Avatar The Last Airbender, you know, and you want to support me a little, to be like, hey, I liked what you did, it can be something. You don't have, you know, to be there for months, you can be there only for 1 month, it's okay also. Let's go for this episode 7! I didn't talk at all about my outfit. Deal with it, like I'm dealing with the fact that it's so hot in France today.
I still can't believe they're shutting this place down. Yeah.
Where are you gonna live, guys?
You can come live on Air Temple Island with me.
Oh!
Asami already invited us to live in Urtahead's giant mansion. Looks like our intel was good.
There's enough evidence here to bury Cabbage Corp for an eternity.
The evidence points in that direction, but the investigation is ongoing.
Yes, continue. I'm not sure of that conclusion.
No! Not my Cabbage Corp!
My cabbages!
Hey, Korra.
Tana?
Oh, you're depressed.
Listen, I'm sorry Mom took your bending.
Wait! He did it? I thought that he didn't. No, we didn't see any light and all.
I've been to the best healers in the city.
You
Whatever
were?
they did to me, it's permanent.
I'm sorry.
You gotta get him for me.
Oh,
If you remember anything else about what you saw during Amon's attack, be sure to let us know.
I want these equalists to pay for what they've done.
Oh, I don't like that. I'm beginning to suspect you.
See you around, Avatar.
It's your house?
Welcome to paradise.
Nah.
Way cooler than a makeover.
Yep.
This is where Future Industries test drives their Satomobile. Take you for a spin?
Let's do it.
She can be a good friend for you, Kuro. Let's go! Come on, Asami. Yeah.
I had you pegged wrong. I thought you were kind of prissy.
People usually assume that I'm Daddy's helpless little girl, but I can handle myself.
I think
I've
so.
been in self-defense classes since I was this high.
Emergency! Emergency coming through! Beep, beep!
Is it-
Bolide! Keep your eyes and your ears open. No.
I assure you, everything is going exactly as planned.
Yep.
Luckily, the Cabbage Corp investigation has bought us enough time. By the end of the week, we'll be ready to strike.
Strike?
Firebender killed Sato's wife during the break-in.
Yep, she said
It was
it.
possible he's been harboring anti-bending sentiment all this time.
Maybe we should look at Mr. Sato a little more closely. Asami, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think your father might be involved with the Equalists.
What? I don't believe this. Just
Asami.
because we're not benders doesn't mean we support those awful equalists.
See, there is an issue between benders and non-benders. I really think so.
You said the Cabbage Corp investigation bought you time and you're getting ready to strike.
This is all just a misunderstanding, resulting from the young Avatar's overactive imagination.
Don't insult her.
It's providing me an opportunity to strike the market with a new line of Satomobiles. If you feel it's necessary, you're welcome to search all of Future Industries.
Nah, haha. He knows that you're not gonna find anything. Okay, he's involved, but not for that particular situation, for the big deal.
Why are you doing this? Are you that jealous of me and Asami?
Not everything is about you, Mako.
That has nothing to do
That's at least the second time that I'm telling you
Consider
that.
our friendship over.
I'm sorry. Hiroshi is not the man you think he is.
Aha!
If you want to find the truth, meet me under the north end of the Silk Road Bridge at midnight.
Listen, I joined the Equalists because I believed in what Amon said.
How can you not see that there is an issue right there to resolve? So Amon is not gonna convince more people.
Knew it!
And there are rumors he's working on something even bigger. Some new kind of weapon.
Somewhere else.
He has a secret factory.
Where?
It's right underneath the Sato mansion.
Oi, you need a warrant. I'm really thinking in a logistic way, you know, I'm really pragmatic.
If we're wrong,
I know. I can kiss my job goodbye. But
No.
protecting Republic City is all I care about. Perhaps we just couldn't see him leaving.
It's... Yes, my dear.
There's a tunnel beneath the workshop, running deep into the mountainside.
Your mother told you well.
You three stay up here. Officer Song, keep an eye on them.
She needs to see it, Asami. Are you enough? That's more than an evidence.
where is he?
We need to get down there and see what's going on.
To save them.
We're waiting right here. Okay, but don't blame me if I start I'm about to. What?
Guys, you did it more than once.
Asami, you should stay here. We'll check it out.
She needs to
Find out
see
the
it.
truth about my father.
That's why I'm going down to find out for you.
Alright.
Is she gonna believe you? It's her father.
I'm afraid you won't be able to tackle them that all, Chief Bitbomb. It's solid platinum.
Come out here and...
And do what, young Avatar? Face the wrath of your bending? No. I think I'll fight from inside here.
That sorceress...
You think that it's
Put
equal?
us down here.
Guilty as charged.
Did you ask Amon for fighting them and killing them? I think that he doesn't want to do it right now. Lean. Careful. Oh no 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 no! Mako, Bolin, time to shine. What about the other ones?
Not so fast, boys. Hello, Mr. Sato! Wow! What a really swell, scary factory. Supporting the Avatar?
A cover.
It was all just a big cover. The most difficult part was watching my daughter traipse around with a fire-bending street rat like you.
How dare you?
Dad, stop! Why?
Asami.
These vendors, they took away your mother. They've ruined the world. But with Aman, we can fix it and build a perfect world together. Join me, Asami.
No. Asami. Girl. She's gonna attack you with that.
I love you, Dad.
Oh, Asami, I'm sorry for you.
Let's get out of here!
Never doubt of her again.
Harlock's right. I failed as chief.
You discovered the factory.
I'm not giving up. I'm gonna find my officers and take Aman down. But I'm gonna do it my way, outside the law.
Ooh! That's gonna be even more interesting to see her acting in an illegal way.
Does your offer to live at the Air Temple still stand?
Nah, with Asami.
Welcome to.
Thank you so much.
After everything she's been through, she's going to need you, Mako.
All of you. She lost both of her parents, you know. I said it, I ship Korra with Mako, but Asami is so sweet and they have a cute relationship, Mako and her. I have nothing against the girl, and on the contrary, she showed nothing but support, you know, for them, for their team. She was there, and she's sweet and nice with everyone. She's nice with Bolin, she's nice with Korra. She's a nice girl, and I'm so sad for her. Discovering that your dad is doing that, it's awful. And being forced to do that to your dad, it's awful also. She already lost her mother, and now she lost her father, in a way. Because she, according to him, she betrayed him, and according to her, she discovered that he is with the enemy. That's bad. I'm really feeling sad for her. She's gonna need friends. She's not gonna only need Mako. Don't ever, you know, doubt of her anymore now. She proved you that you can trust her. I'm saying that to Mako, but also to Korra, to Bolin. That's it, she's a part of the team now. The fact that we discovered during this episode, you know, where Amand was finding these arms, you know, this technology and all, it's fun because it was really a question that I had a little during the last episode and that I talked a lot during this intro because, you know, between episodes it was working on my head, I was thinking about it more, and all the fact that for non-benders to fight against the benders, they have to have this mechanism, you know, and also the electric stuff, like they have to have access to that technology by buying it or just by having access to it by one person, by one company and all. And I was beginning to think that it could be great to discover that, to stop them, you know, to have access to that, and that could be a real weakness for them to not have access to this technology anymore. So it's fun that during this episode we discovered from where it was coming from. I didn't buy the fact that it was a Cabbage's corp, not only because of that memory from Avatar The Last Airbender, you know, my cabbages! Not only because I didn't want that guy to be responsible of it, but also because I was not feeling it. I didn't feel that there was something wrong with Mr. Sato. I felt it a little with his eyes, and with the fact that he was okay for all of his company to be searched like that and all, the guy knew that they were not gonna find anything, you know, I felt it like that. But now he's still alive and he's gonna escape, he's gonna be totally on Ammon's side and he's gonna create more stuff for Ammon, for Ammon's army. It's great for the show, for the story, because it's really creating, I was gonna say, an equal thing between benders and non-benders, but not really in fact. Like right there, these machines, they were so powerful. They are not equals, they are better than the benders. But it's great to have that into the story. It's creating more challenges for the benders to succeed. Lynn, she's gonna give up on her job to fight Ammon's army and to find Ammon in an illegal way, because she understood that with the legal way it can't be enough. That's gonna be fun to see her doing illegal stuff. We're so used to have Toph doing illegal stuff and taking pleasure of it that it surprised me when we discovered that Lynn, her daughter, was so strict with the laws and all. But it was because of the fact that she accepted that, the laws, and to follow them, and that responsibility and all, because her main thing, which is defining her character, and she said it directly during this episode when I said it to you during the review of the last one, it's to save people, to protect that city. It's really what is guiding everything for her, her main principle, you know, the main thing which is defining her character. That's why she gave up on that thing, you know, during the last episode to save Korra. Saving people, protecting people is always gonna be her main priority. If it means for her to give up on her job, to do illegal stuff, she's gonna do it. That's gonna be so great to discover that aspect of her. I really hope that we're gonna see it a little. Or maybe that we're gonna join her. We'll see. I'm afraid of what it can mean for the city on itself, because of the fact that Tarlok, we know it since the beginning, Tenzin said it, he wants more power. And we saw him, you know, acting with the council a few times. He's really with Tenzin. They are the two leaders of the council. The other ones, they are just following their leads. So it would mean, you know, that Tarlok is gonna control the council and now control the security of Republic City. I'm afraid that at some point Tenzin is gonna be forced to give up on the council, you know, to leave the council, and it would be so wrong. Tarlok would control everything. He proved during one episode that he wants to fight Ammon, you know, that thing, that mission that he did with Korra. I'm not suspecting him to be maybe on Ammon's side, in fact. Maybe at some point he can be on Ammon's side if it means for him to have the control of the situation, to have the control of everything. Maybe he can join Ammon at some point, but not right now. He's not right there. He wants the control of Republic City. He almost has all of the council. Right now he's gonna have all of the security thing. Tenzin out and he's controlling everything. And maybe if Ammon is continuing to create his war and all, at some point he's gonna have to join Ammon to continue to have this power on the city. I don't think that Ammon wants the power of Republic City. I said it, I really think that creating a war between benders and non-benders, it's one of the steps that he's following with his plan. But I don't think that he wants power, you know, control on things, to control a city, to have to rule it and all. I don't think that it's what he wants. See what Sato said right there about his story and why he decided to do that, and what also Asami said when they were investigating on her father at first. For me, there is an issue between benders and non-benders, and right there you have two benders who are saying it to you directly that you're taking advantage of the situation, that Ammon for that is right. And they are not equalists, they are benders non-equalists who are saying it to you, and it's not telling you anything. Tenzin, you're part of the council, you should think about it. Again, to win against Ammon, it's gonna be by fighting him and his army, but it's gonna be by taking decisions, political decisions, and convincing people. You can't do it right now, you can't even think about it because you didn't realize it. Admit it, that there is really an issue that you have to resolve, that yes, benders are maybe taking advantage of the situation of their bending to have things, to control things, and that non-benders can feel like you're not respecting them enough, you're not taking them as seriously, like they're not equals. I'm not an equalist, for sure, but I can see that Amon is pointing, you know, something which is real to take advantage of it to create his war. Again, I'm not sure that he's really believing into these reasons, you know, like he's really doing it for that conclusion. It's a part of his plan, but not his plan. His plan is not to kill all of the benders. His plan is to create a war between benders and non-benders. Him, what he's gonna do with that, how he's gonna take advantage of that war, that's another story. Maybe I'm totally wrong, you know, maybe that theory that I have is totally wrong because all of the facts that we had, all of the things that we had during the show was proving the contrary, you know, that he truly believes in what he says, that he wants that war, he wants to eliminate all of the benders. Everything is pointing on that direction. But me, I'm not fully convinced. I don't know why. We'll see. Okay, so it's all for you and for me for the Legend of Korra for today. So it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?